Welcome everyone to Ethereum Cat Herders meeting 53. I have shared the agenda on the chat. So before we can get into the topics listed there, we have one new member join in. It's Pedro Rivera. So Pedro, if you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself to the group.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Pedro. I was born and raised in Mexico, then lived a couple of years in the US, and now been for 1 year in Germany. I got interested, actually got invested in Ethereum in 2015, and I've been following it closely ever since. And I've always wanted to find a way to contribute. So I saw the announcement of you guys looking for volunteers, and I thought it's a great opportunity to jump in. My background is computer engineering, but on the hardware side of things. I've worked the past 6 years in FPGA development. My engineering degree is computer engineering in general. So I would be glad to use any of those skills here if necessary, or anything in general. And I'm quite honored to be allowed to participate.
Welcome, Pedro.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So I see that you have shown your interest in documenting an EIP meeting. I believe you are on the Ethereum Cat Herders Discord. There we will be sharing more information about what all tasks that we are doing, and you can join the meetings.
Yeah, I am in the Discord. Yeah.
That's great. Okay. So moving on, the first item on the agenda today is progress on ECH website. So we had a meeting with Michael and Shane last week, and we discussed some of the key points for the website content that we are trying to design for Ethereum Cat Herders. I believe Michael has some designs to share with the group. Michael?
Yep. Do I have screen sharing privileges right now?
I believe so.
Looks like it. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me just do this here. Okay, great. So the first thing I want to do is go over the branding board that we sort of developed for Ethereum Cat Herders. And this is the start of that. So that means that this will be the logo in various forms based on its context online, whether that's social media or the site itself. And then the color palette and the font types for the site itself. So this is sort of what we've leaned into. The idea here, obviously, being to kind of have fun with the name a little bit, but still be easily recognizable, across different communities. So this is sort of what we've come up with. And to kind of place that on the site, this is the initial mock-up that we've developed for the Ethereum Cat Herders website. So this is, I'll just kind of go through it. This is just a landing page. So we've got just the different kind of leaning into the name a little bit more here, explaining what and who Ethereum Cat Herders is and what they do. And then I'm gonna explain this section a little bit here, but this is kind of going to be the first sort of call to action, if you will, for anyone unfamiliar with Ethereum Cat Herders, really showcasing the PEEP and EIP, the team meetings and community events. Now the TV here, I'm actually actively programming this now. So what this will do is this will play a curated playlist from the Ethereum Cat Herders YouTube site. And then it's got a little bit of intelligence in it. So if you're streaming live, for example, if this site was live right now, this would actually be streaming the meeting. So we can do live sessions there, or however you want to leverage it. But it does have that functionality. I think that it's kind of a neat little feature built in there.
Sweet.
Then going just towards the bottom here just sort of dives into the core pages that we want to exploit based on what the EthereumCatHerders.com site is now. Just very content heavy and just kind of putting in these 4 categories here. So this is just the general landing page. I'm just kind of going through a couple real quick visual details. This, for example, when clicking on the hamburger menu, this is sort of what we're thinking of here for menu items. Then if you were to hover over a respective page, the little cat hands would kind of change and you know, have a little cutesy thing there. The loading screen, we've got a little yarn, ball of yarn that kind of goes back and forth as things are processing. So just kind of, again, leading into the name there a little bit. This is, I know sort of real quick, I went over this, but based on the content of the current site and what it is that you're trying to push, I felt that this was probably the best direction. Keep it fairly minimal, clean. We don't want to overcomplicate things, but still be entertaining and sticky, if you will. So we have people returning and consuming data. Effectively, so I'll kind of open up to the group here. What I wanted to do is first get a feel for this overall direction before we bite into more of the sub pages, obviously, because those are sort of going to have the same aesthetic stemming from this. So I didn't want to go too far into it without getting a group consensus on direction and aesthetic. So I will kind of open it up first real quick before I go any further than that and see what the response is from the group.
Personally, I like the idea here. And I like a few things I would like to make a mention here. The cute cat paws things, the yarn ball stuff. These are quite interesting. And as you said that we would not like to complicate the home page. It looks good. Yeah, in other sections when we will get into, then maybe. Yeah, I mean, I find it good, but I'm open. Yeah, I'm curious to know what other people think here.
I love it. I think it's amazing and that you've done a great job. It's simple enough, but it gets across what we do. The logo's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
I think so based on that feedback, our next steps here are going to be, there's some pretty obvious low-hanging fruit in terms of changes here. I think I need to reset a couple priorities. Specifically talking about the navigation menu. I don't think we need the YouTube link here specifically, since we're sort of feeding that need with this section here, and there's some navigation that I think would be more intuitive based on
it's in the burger, right?
Correct. Yep. So I think that will be a couple changes there. And then what I'd like to do is for these call to action sections, I'll probably add 1 or 2 sentences explaining what it is. So it's not just sort of this cryptic titling that people have to click into and find out what it is after that. So I'll sort of just describe what these things are. The priority here being, and please correct me if I'm misinterpreting this, is to really make sure that the data that you guys are pushing out as a community is the easiest to be available. That's what we want to have consumed first. So I think that is basically like the developer meetings, the EIP resources, and then the video content, I think should set priority for the page. That's basically all I have to present today. So if there aren't any glaring concerns, the goal here is by next meeting to actually have an interactive demoable version of this, where I can just send you guys the link and you can play with it and try to break it and see how things flow, and we can rearrange things from there. So that's what we've got developed. That's our goal for next meeting. Happy to field any questions or concerns if there are any at this point.
Just one thing I want to check with you. If you can scroll down a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Here in this section, we have like PPNE, ECH team meetings, and community events. Community events, like we did something 1559 kind of thing. That is fine. But other than that, we have a couple of more meetings that we can, that we like kind of organize. I believe adding a tab or two would not be a problem, right?
No, that wouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay.
I do see this section as being sort of the calendar section, maybe where you advertise those things. So maybe when that gets clicked on, that opens up the community calendar, similar to like what ETHStaker has, where they have your actual community events and then others that you align with that you want to advertise for.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, I got it wrong earlier, but now, yeah, it's clear to me. Okay, then in terms of like ECH team meetings, it's not about ECH only. It can be all the meetings, because there are 2-3 meetings that we are kind of like, we do it for EIP as well, right? So it's not for ECH only. We can also do it for EIP there.
Would community calendar be a good term for that, or is it not that broad?
If that question's for me, I think that would probably make more sense. Yeah, I think changing that verbiage to community calendar would make more sense, kind of capturing that. Yep.
Well, the TV thing, that's going to be way cool to show live data or from a playlist. If you click on that, I'm assuming it will go to the real thing.
Correct. Yes. So we'll make it a little bit more obvious, and we'll probably have to mess with the ratio a little bit. I don't think the square is going to work for that to visually display it. So we'll stretch it out a little bit. We'll make it more obvious, probably switch out one of these controllers for, like, click to see live or click to go to the channel, something to that effect.
Sweet.
Okay. Just going back to the team meeting section, am I understanding that would it just be easiest to just say team meetings then, encapsulate all of them, or should this just be a different title altogether?
So currently we are like organizing EIP meeting and the ECH meeting. So if we can have either 2 tabs or just have like meetings, and then people can find the 2 tabs in between, whatever way.
Okay, perfect.
That would be easier.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then I think we'll just keep pushing forward with this overall concept. And like I said, the next meeting we'll easily have a interactive demo to push and have you all see and work with.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for your work.
No problem.
Okay. So moving on, the next item on the agenda is a Berlin upgrade blog post. Like earlier upgrades, we would like ECH to publish a blog to communicate about the upcoming upgrade Berlin. There are some ongoing discussion to make the announcement in a more effective manner. And we are definitely going to be a part of that announcement. But in the meanwhile, I have shared a draft earlier with a few members on the Medium post. It's about the EIPs, the proposals that would be getting in the Berlin upgrade. I'm going to share the draft here for people's review. Thanks to Hudson and Tim for reviewing it. And we would be hoping to publish this blog maybe when we get the latest version of client upgrades. What is there in mind for people, for target date to publish it? That's one thing that I want to listen from the group, and any feedback on the proposal.
I think I already left my comments with you in the document, but I can just explain them here. So the idea right now is to have the Berlin, usually the Berlin, like the network upgrade blog posts are on the Ethereum Foundation blog. What we want to do, and actually the last one or two hard forks network upgrades have had a link to Ethereum Cat Herders blogs that have more information. So we want to do that same thing again, where the Ethereum Cat Herders blog has more detailed information on the EIPs, and then the Ethereum Foundation blog, or multiple blogs maybe this year, has the actual announcement. When I say multiple blogs, we want to try to get away from having the Ethereum Foundation be the single source of truth. So we might publish it across different entities this year, like maybe like Gnosis and Consensus and MyCrypto and other places that have blogs that people visit. So that's kind of the plan right now. And I think that's part of what we want to get feedback on, right, Pooja?
That's one part, and the other part, like a tentative date for publishing. My assumption is whenever we get all clients ready with the latest version, so that is there.
That's my assumption as well.
Okay. Okay, so I'm leaving the link in the chat. If people have any further suggestion or an improvement suggestion or comment, feel free to add it over there. And yeah, that's it on this particular topic. The next item is events and community meetings. So last Friday we had this 1559 community call, and after the meeting we received quite a few feedback in the 1559 Discord channel. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who joined, tuned in, and shared their feedback later in the Discord. As I also mentioned it there, the main goal of the call was to open a proper channel for dialogue with miners and developers community, identify the gap which is leading the disagreement, and help bridge the gap to build a consensus over the proposal 1559. So from where I see, I think the call was successful in sending the message through. Coming to the feedback that was provided in the channel, that people are interested to know more about BBT's model, Bitspeed Trippin model, and some resources on MEV. For them, I was trying to get in touch with both of them, and I get to know that Mika and BBT had a call with Miner like a few days ago, and I'm going to share the link for those people who are interested in looking more resources on MEV. I think this is going to be helpful. Just sharing this information out, that still, if you have any kind of question and if you would want to have an AMA kind of session inviting these people, please do let us know. We'll be happy to arrange any other meeting that is going to help build consensus, provide more resources. Similarly, a few people came up with the EIP 969, and if somebody wants to champion that proposal, I would be happy to arrange a peep and eat meeting to provide the overview of the proposal, how that is going to be helpful for the Ethereum chain and all. So yeah, that's my thought on this feedback. If people have any other suggestion, how we can make improve this process, or maybe have more community meetings. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that was again was a response of a blog that was published to become an EIP editor. So we have received good responses on there. A few people filled up the form, and I think someone also created a pull request, first pull request, suggesting some edits in the EIP1. So to answer the queries and how to kind of questions, I'm planning to organize, to invite all those EIP editors aspirants to the next EIP meeting, where we have all the editors on the call, and maybe they can ask their questions, queries directly with the EIP editors. And yeah, I mean, this is one thing that I came across, like how to handle these kind of inflow of questions. if you have any other suggestion on how to help with the onboarding of these people, I would like to welcome thoughts here. I mean, you can always leave comment on Discord channel where people are already reaching out to us. We have invited a few editors to answer questions. We are trying to answer as much as possible. Moving on, the next item on the agenda is meeting notes. As we mentioned earlier, we are looking for people to join us to document notes of various community meetings, Ethereum All Core Dev meeting, Ethereum 2.0 implementers meeting, EIP 1559 implementers meeting, EIP IP meeting, and this cat herder meeting. So yesterday we had this, not yesterday, sorry. The last Friday we had this EIP 1559 community call, and currently we are looking for someone to document those meetings. It was a 90-minute call, and the payout will be 150 DAI, 150. Anyone interested may please reach out to me or respond to the issue created in Ethereum Cat Herders PM repo. The number is 163.
I'd love to do that, Pooja.
Oh, that would be great. So you can just simply respond to the issue. I have created it right there, and you can start working on it. Because you are new, so I understand that you are aware of the process. I have tried to add process for new people if they are interested to document the notes. But that's fine. A few of the current resources also mentioned that they would like to take a break, and we should provide the opportunity to new people coming in. So I'm going to make some changes in the meeting schedule later today or tomorrow. So if people are interested to join, may I either respond to my welcome email that I usually send in response to the form, or can DM me on the Discord directly. I'll be happy to adjust them in the schedule. Do we have anyone on the call who can talk about any of the meetings that happened in the past 2 weeks? I know we had for ACD meeting, notes are up. For EIP AP meeting, notes are up. We are just waiting on H2 implementers meeting. I'm hoping to get it by today or by tomorrow. Anyone has any other question?
I have a question about the EIP IP meeting we have. One of the things one of my tasks was to contact AXIC about making modifications to the eips.ethereum.org. I've sent a getter message to him and an email message, and haven't gotten a reply from either one. So I wonder if anyone has any other ideas. Is there someone else I could contact, or anyway, just a question.
I am not sure if people are aware of who actually manages eips.ethereum.org. My initial understanding was ASIC can be a good starting point, but I will try to look into it more.
DM me and I can figure out, I'll think about it and figure out later who to direct you to.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you so much for the help.
Okay. So the next item is PEEP and EAT. Excuse me. In the last 2 weeks, we had the PEEP and EAT for 2 proposals. EIP 2876, which is a deposit contract and address standard with Jonathan Underwood. That proposal is like very good. It's an ERC, and it is good for saving on gas fee for exchanges. While talking about this proposal, he also mentioned about an alternate proposal that may be helpful to mitigate high network fees. That is like one of the biggest issue of the network at the moment. I'm not an expert on the feasibility of the proposal, as it seems to be a core proposal, though he have not documented it yet. It's just in the idea form. So I would like to request people who are interested in it and maybe uh, good enough to understand if it is like possible or not possible to look into the recording. And if this is something going to be helpful, please help push the proposal. The other peep that we did was with Greg Colvin, and the EAP was EAP 2315 simple subroutine for EVM. This proposal is up for Berlin. This was the only missing EIPs from the Berlin list that we could not cover earlier, but it is available now. And we have now the overview of all 5 proposals that are going in Berlin. Anyone interested to learn about the proposals that we can expect on the Ethereum mainnet with Berlin upgrade may find an explainer by the authors in the ECH YouTube at Peepany playlist. This week we have an upcoming recording for EIP 3085, which is wallet add Ethereum chain RPC method. This is very helpful for dApp developers, like how to integrate this wallet with the Ethereum chain with the help of RPC method. And meeting is planned on Wednesday, March 3rd at 1:30 p.m. EST. And the overview will be provided by Eric Marks, who is the author of the proposal. So I would like to mention it again. If you are looking for resources for any of the Ethereum improvement proposal, and you would like us to invite the authors, do let us know. Drop by ECH Discord, and you can share EIP number that you would want to see in the next episode of the Peepany. The next item on the agenda is discuss and close the ECH GitHub issues. So at the moment, I do not see any new GitHub issue on PM repo except for the one that is open for meeting notes. And on the funding part, we have initiated the transaction. I believe it requires one more approval, and after that it will be paid off. Before we go into the last item, the outstanding action item, is there any question or comment so far? Okay. So the last item is a review of outstanding action items from previous ECH meeting. And yeah, I see that Anvatika will share the branding part of the new website. We have gone through it, and we have plans for what we can see in the next meeting. Thank you very much, Anvatika, for this. Alita to continue working on EIP bot. Alita could not join the meeting today, but she left a message for us mentioning that she is working in the bot, and by next meeting it should be at least, test ready kind of. She would be able to share it with us. Third is create additional column in ECH multisig for reimbursement of execution fees. In the last meeting, we mentioned that because the execution fees is very high, we are considering it to be withdrawn from the ECH multisig. So the column is already added there. And yes, that's all from the items listed today. Do people have any further thing to bring it up? Looks like to be a short meeting. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining. Brent, you have to say something?
No, I just wanted to say thanks for the new guys. It's fun to have 7 people here at our meeting
Yeah,
today.
of course. Yeah, I was about to mention that. So welcome again, Pedro. And if you would like to be, part of the schedule, the regular schedule, please DM me for that. I will add you to the calendar, or if you would want to go ahead with selective meeting notes or something like that, you are free to let us know and I'll adjust it accordingly. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And the next meeting is on March 16th, 2 weeks from now. Have a great day. And
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a
Thanks,
Thanks all.
Pooja. Bye.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.